of you. So it's better for you to wait, for the result. Thank you, Nurmila.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, Ibu Ninit. I'm so sorry. I can't find you.
Baik, sebelumnya apakah suara saya dapat terdengar, panitia?
Yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The honorable judges and to all the amazing comics. Let me introduce myself. My name is Arinda Sari and I am speaking as a delegate of Poltekkes Kemenkes Yogyakarta Environmental Health Department. Before beginning this speech, I would like to invite you to thank to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given us mercy and blessing so we can be together in the blessed day. And also let's deliver salawat and salam to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam who has brought us from the darkness to the brightness. Ladies and gentlemen, in this good occasion, I would like to deliver a brief speech about being a creative human being for environmental preservation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very concerning to see the increasing number of news from home and foreign countries regarding the environmental issues. Did you know that the forest fire in Italy, which occurred recently, became the Europe's hottest temperature on record because the temperature was almost 50 degrees Celsius? And then, waste in Indonesia is increasingly growing, and there's medical waste increase during this pandemic. Meanwhile, the waste management is still not optimal. These two examples can cause a lot of environmental problems, such as global warming, air pollution, soil pollution, decrease in aesthetic value, and negative impact on human health. There are many factors for environmental problem. The two contributing factors are human factors and natural factors. Natural factors such as earthquake and volcanic eruption, and for the major causes of environmental problem is due to human factors such as littering, ineffective industrial waste management, illegal logging, and etc. Ladies and gentlemen, from these problems, we as a human being should have an awareness to preserve the environment to make it better. Create a creative attitude in solving the environment so it can be an effective solution. Creativity can start from planning something new and implement it, such as creating and using industrial environmentally friendly products, making craft from goods or waste so that they have economic value, using social media to campaign and persuading others to participate in saving the environment, as well as many other creative efforts can be done. Ladies and gentlemen, in this good occasion, I would like to invite you to save the environment together. This effort must be started from each individual with an emphasis on awareness of the importance of the great environment for human life and natural conservation. Creativity and effective effort to save the environment. Your teeny moment of creativity can make a big impact on human health and natural conservation. We can do simple choice for healthier environmental such as plant a tree, shop wisely, conserve water, and implement reduce, reuse, also recycle. Let's start from ourselves and spread it to others so our environment becomes sustainable. Protecting the environment not just a dream, it needs an action. Save today's environment for a better future because the environment is where we all meet. Environment is where we all have mutual interest, and it is the one thing all of us share. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all for me. I hope my brief speech can be useful for us. And sorry for some mistake and thanks for your attention. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, that's a great Arinda Guspita Sari from Yogyakarta. Okay, after this, you may leave this Zoom and wait for the result. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Assalamualaikum. Maaf sebelumnya suara saya apakah terdengar dengan jelas?
Yes, dear, it's clear. You may start.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The honorable judges, hardworking committees, and all beloved audiences. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let's sing our gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us well-being, so we all have a chance together in this opportunity. Peace and salutations may be delivered upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Before I start my speech, I would once again thank all committees for giving me a chance to deliver my speech. My name is Auliya, and I hope you are all engaged with my speech about 4 steps to become Earth's superhero. Ladies and gentlemen, before I start my speech, I would like to ask you something. Have you ever felt that the weather is getting hotter year by year? My grandparents say that nowadays, the weather has much got hotter than they were 30 years ago. Yes, it has changed, and it's even getting worse. The earth takes time to heat and takes time to cool, but nowadays, we can expect the earth to cool down because we're at the point of noticing that the earth has started to heat, and its heat will keep increasing in the future. This is what we call climate change. And there is no guarantee that humankind will survive 30 years later based on national report by International Climate Change Report. So, don't you all worry about it, about our future generations? Because lately, I feel like our lives are threatened by human activities themselves. It doesn't only impact human beings, but also the environment and all the ecosystem. So, climate change is a situation that has long-term effect and will catastrophe. Well, some of you might, as we all know, several environmental issues have occurred, such as flooding, wildfires, cyclones, droughts, and so on. So far, let's question ourselves. What have we done to prevent all of this from happening? Well, some of you might think that the government is taking care of that. Well, indeed, the government cannot stand by itself without involving the people. So we have to work together to make a change, to make our environment better, no matter how big or small our efforts are. But the most important thing is the involvement and the engagement of all the global citizens to prevent the disastrous terrors of climate change. So, what should we do to prevent all of this from happening? I would like to mention that firstly, let's stop using single-use plastic. Maybe it sounds a bit radical, isn't it? Well, when I go to a party like a wedding ceremony, I bring my own tumbler. Sounds weird, but it's way better than using a disposable cup. And the question is, why is disposable cup is no better than using a plastic? Than using a tumbler. Why? Well, the process of plastic production creates high level of carbon emissions, and humans produce approximately 30 millions of plastic waste every year. Can you imagine it? Sounds weird, right? So, single-use plastic are unsustainable and dangerous for our environment due to its long-life degradation process. So we should really consider to stop using single-use plastic and move on to using a tumbler, tote bags, and other reusable products. And secondly, I would like to mention that let's start planting a tree. Trees can help mitigate climate change by converting carbon dioxide, which is very beneficial for our life and our environment. The availability of trees cannot be replaced by any modifications or environmental or artificial environment engineering due to because we have to maintain the ecological balance for the sustainability in the future. And thirdly, let's use environmentally friendly products. What's meant to be environmentally friendly products? Well, environmentally friendly products are products that engage of everyday productions due to a life cycle perspective because we have to maintain the sustainability of the earth. The products that are not environmentally friendly has higher risk of aggravating the environment, which is climate change, such as releasing the greenhouse gases that eventually worsen the climate change. And lastly, I would like to mention that let's sort out our waste. Why do we have to sort out our waste? Because sorting our waste is the first step of utilizing our waste instead of dumping them away. Moreover, a type of waste such as organic waste creates high level of methane emissions that worsen the climate change. So we should really consider to start utilizing our waste instead of dumping them away because it's way better to mitigate our to mitigate the impact of climate change. And overall, from the four steps that we can do, I would like to emphasize that as a global citizen, the most important thing is how we could share the awareness regarding the importance of mitigating climate change because every person play an important role to address these global issues, which is climate change. We have to work together. We need courage and willingness to start every small steps to mitigate the climate change from happening any further for the sake of our future generations. Last but not least, I would like to mention a quote from Nelson Mandela that we must never forget that it is our duty to to protect this environment. So let us start with our four small steps. Thank you very much for your attention. I genuinely hope what I've said for today will be very beneficial for all of us here. Sorry for my mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you for Auliya. That's a great speech, but let's all the judges to give the point of view. Okay, thank you, Auliya. Thank you for this. You have your lecture here. Okay, thank you. See you for the result later.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, Hadriana from Makassar. Okay, are you ready, dear?
Ready. Oke, Ibu, mohon izin untuk timernya mungkin bisa di ini lagi ya. Saya dari tadi pakai timer sendiri kebetulan Ibu. Karena ya, ini timernya sepertinya ada ini ya.
Yang di monitornya peserta gitu ya, Bu ya?
Iya, sepertinya itu di setting berapa menit. Terus dia tadi kalau kan dari awal ya, padahal kan kita enggak yang apa greetingnya kan nggak masuk ya, greetingnya kan nggak masuk tuh, iya.
Ya,
Tapi
iya. Ya.
Tapi ini dari tadi saya pakai pakai saya stopwatch sendiri sih tadi.
Oh iya, saya juga nih. Jadi timekeepernya ada catatan sendiri, Bu.
Oke.
Oke, thank you. Oke, Hadriana, you ready?
Ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Sebelumnya, apakah suara saya terdengar dengan jelas?
Ya.
Oke. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Respectful judges, committees, and all fellow participants of Banjarmasin National Olympic 2021. First of all, let's pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala because today He has given us good health and long life, so we can meet together in this meeting room. Secondly, salawat and salam to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He has brought us from the darkness to the lightness. Okay, my name is Hadriana Lahab and I am speaking as a delegate of Makassar, Haqq Poltekkes. Before beginning my speech, I would like to thank all of the audience here, especially the committees, for giving me the opportunity to speak. On this grateful occasion, I would like to talk about Be a Creative Human Being for Environmental Preservation with the title, Change for the Environment. Ladies and gentlemen, human and environment are two important aspects that cannot be separated from each other. We both have a reciprocal relationship. In general, humans depend on surrounding environment, namely in the form of natural research that can support daily life. Then, what if there is no balance between human and environment? Or between host, agent, and environment, there is no balance? Of course, it will cause an environmental problems that have a huge impact on human. They know things that can damage the environment, but consciously or unconsciously, they also continue to do negative things that damage the environment. Ladies and gentlemen, the main natural research for humans are soil, water, and air. Soil is a place for humans to carry out activities. Water is needed for humans as the largest components of human body. And air is a natural source of oxygen for human respiration. Then, what if the quality of soil, water, and air is no longer maintained? When compared to previous year, the quality of soil, water, and air is getting worse. The soil that used to be where people come trees, but now become a place for the construction of large buildings. Clean water that used to be easy to get, but now very difficult to get. And the air that used to be clean, but now air pollution is everywhere. Then who should be blamed? Is the soil, water, or the air? Of course, human. Human who continue to carry out activities relate the environment, but there is no reciprocity between the two. So, are we going to stay relaxed? Well, the air or our environment is not fine. Or we can do something small hopping to see green trees, breathe fresh oxygen, and drink clean water once more. Ladies and gentlemen, as the next generation of the nation, of course, we have an important role in environmental preservation effort. One small example, as a form of environmental preservation, however, many still don't apply it, namely, throwing garbage in its place. Sounds very simple, but it's still often underestimated. If from the point of view of environmental health students, the things that can be done are to socialize and educate all level of society about the importance to maintaining and preserving the environment. Why do I say that? Because environmental health itself aims to prevent. Prevention is better than cure. Therefore, as long as there is no serious damage, let's prevent the environment. Ladies and gentlemen, another things that can be done to apply are the use of environmentally friendly technology, holding competitions such as recycle, planting trees together, and much more. From the point above, the most important thing is self-awareness because it's impossible to come up with creative idea if there is no if there is no if there is no self-awareness about the importance to protecting the environment. Before I close, we will now have a big responsibility to restore our environment. So, in the future, we can still live a better life. Our environment is our life. If it's destroyed, our environment will be destroyed too. Treat it well, and it will treat us well. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you for Hadriana from Poltekkes Makassar. Okay, you did well, dear. Don't be nervous, yeah. Okay, I think you may leave this Zoom. So let's the judges to check about your speech after this. Okay, thank you, Hadriana. Good luck for you and stay safe.
Thank you, judges.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Your honorable adjudicators and the audience. First of all, let's thank to Allah for giving us His mercy and blessing. Secondly, salawat and salam may always be open to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has led us from darkness to the lightness.
My name is Saidah Afifah, and I'm from Haqq Polytechnic of Banjarmasin. In this opportunity, I will deliver my speech by the title, Biogas Technology for Environmental Preservation. Everyone, are you aware that our environment has started to cause a lot of damage and getting out of control? Let's look to our river. Can you still see reflection on it? Nowadays, there's a lot of happen to our environment like air and water pollution, clean water crisis, forest destruction, and many more. In fact, the environment is an aspect that determines our quality life of living things. And that's why it's important for us to conserve nature so that environment can still give us the benefit as a source of life support. And now, the question is, how? Everyone, today we live in the globalization era with advanced technology. And we, as the young generation, must be able to take advantage from this technology, especially for environmental preservation. For example, is manufacture of biogas. So what is biogas? According to Agung Pambudi from Gajah Mada University, biogas is the process of
Okay, stop recording. Okay, hello Saidah. Something wrong?
Iya, stuck ya Bu ya?
Yes.
Yes, lagi hang.
Yes, we should stop for the timer. Connection, I think. Okay, Ibu Evi sama Ibu Nurmila.
Iya.
How about this? Should continue or?
It is possible. So we start from the beginning. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
If it is not okay, so we skip it.
So it means that Saidah will start from the first?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
From the beginning.
Yes, we wait for about 3 minutes.
Yes, 3 minutes.
Tidak dihitung direkam berapa menit.
Yeah.
Okay. She comes. It's okay, Saidah, no problem. Okay, Saidah.
saya ulang dari awal.
Hello. Okay. Okay, Saidah. Is there something wrong with your connection or your devices? Ada masalah dengan ini perangkatnya atau jaringan?
Ada masalah dengan jaringan Bu tadi.
Okay. Would you like to start from the beginning? Diulang.
Baik Bu, terima kasih.
Okay. Ulang.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Your honorable adjudicators and the audience. First of all, let's thank to Allah for giving us His mercy and blessing. Secondly, salawat and salam may always be open to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has led us from darkness to the lightness. My name is Saidah Afifah, and I'm from Haqq Polytechnic of Banjarmasin. In this opportunity, I will deliver my speech by the title, Biogas Technology for Environmental Preservation. Everyone, are you aware that our environment has started to cause a lot of damage and getting out of control? Let's we look to our river. Can you still see reflection on it? Nowadays, there's a lot of happen to our environment like air and water pollution, clean water crisis, forest destruction, and many more. In fact, the environment is an aspect that determines our quality life of living things. And that's why it's important for us to conserve nature so that environment can still give us the benefit as a source of life support. And now, the question is, how? Everyone, today we live in the globalization era with advanced technology, and we, as the young generation, must be able to take advantage from this technology, especially for environmental preservation. For example, is manufacture of biogas. So, what is biogas? According to Agung Pambudi from Gajah Mada University, biogas is the process of producing biogas from organic material with the help of bacteria. The process of that degradation without involving the oxygen, and it is called anaerobic digestion. And the gas produced is mostly methane. So, what is so special about this biogas? It is special because the application of biogas gives us many benefits, such as first, reducing environment pollution. Second, reducing the use of the wood so that forest sustainability is maintained. Third, reducing greenhouse gas effect. And last, can be processed into the organic fertilizer. Ladies and gentlemen, biogas technology actually not the new technology for us, but its application in the community is still not optimal. One of the factors is because it costs quite expensive. But for creative generation like us, it should not stop us. It's just like how Teguh and Jiman from Kasenat Village, Central Java, they made biogas from animal waste in the simple way, such as replacing cast concrete with the plastic line hole to accommodate animal waste mixed with water and decomposers. Even though they only use small amount of waste raw material, they can still produce quite large of biogas for daily life. And because of it, they can save money for buying liquefied petroleum gas and even help the other villagers to fertilize the land with the organic fertilizer that they need. More than that, there are many other technologies that are useful for environmental preservation, and thus is our duty as the next generation to continue to develop these technologies with a creative and innovative idea for environmental preservation. Lastly, I want to say that in preserving and protecting the environment, do not just about wishful thinking, but also take the real action. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all I can say. Thank you for your attention and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay, Nur Saidah Afifah, thank you for your performance. Okay, so you may leave this Zoom. Thank you. Okay, welcome, Bilkis. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready.
Okay, time is yours.
Thank you, ma'am. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I start my speech, I wanna introduce myself at first. My name is Bilkis Nabila Putri from Poltekkes of Surabaya. First of all, let's sing to our God who gives us mercy and grace so we can attend to National Olympic Department of Environmental Health of Health State Polytechnic Ministry of Health. I want to thank for this opportunity, which is gave me a brave to prove my ability about speech. And so all of my lecturers, my campus mates, and a bunch of my organization mates, in case of supporting me to join this. As environmental health student, I have many some things from civilian, believing in those students could bring a better world to live. The environment we are living in is the home of all creatures. It provides us facilities to fill up our needs, such as foods, a place to do daily activities, and build a safe home. Gives us oxygen to keep us alive, and many others. As the time passes, we can see that our Earth be up against the extreme climate change and our environmental pollution. The environmental pollution, such as trash dumped carelessly, the difficulty of clean water, acid rain, unbelieved soil, and etc. We are living in the world at very age, in case wondering why we face through the environmental damage. In order to purify and help our environment be repaired due to environmental preservation, have you been do something lately or have an idea for doing in one day? The things are really meant for the environment is everything that we can do is to save all God's creatures' lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring all of you to pick what we can do to preserve environment. The first, I would call it let's choose for a bunch of trash or let's choose for BOT. What is that? Let me explain. Basically, that project have similarity with World Cleans Up Day. I guess my audiences ever heard about it. Yes, a day for collecting trash in every places we are in it, whom people all around the world takes a part of it. When World Cleans Up Day might be held monthly or annually, I will let's choose for BOT will be held weekly and of course on weekend. People all around the world will be collecting trash from all over places in town where they lives. This project have its benefit for reducing pollution caused by free dump. When the trash dumped in soil, then when we clean it, we reduce the microorganism, plant, weather, soil, and the degree of soil fertility of being polluted. In the body of water, we have reduced a bad smell that caused by trash, make the water flow be smoother, and save the aquatic life. Also, we reduce producing of methane gas from methane trash that will release into atmosphere. Methane gas will be polluting the air when the amount of it's too much and could causing extreme climate change. Not only from methane trash, methane gas can be produced from livestock farming, especially cattle manure and food waste. Cattle manure should be processed first so it will not to pollute the environment, such as processing it into biogas with procedures determined by regulations and guidelines. For food waste, it's better to pay attention for the proportion of food consumption so it will not waste it. When people have done with their activities of collecting trash, then they will raise their trash into the air and say toast. Their activities will be uploaded into their social media to beg other people for joining this project, so they can toast together with theirs a bunch of trash. This amount of trash can be recycled when we drop in trash bank, or we can do it by ourselves. Maybe we can create renewable energy source from waste management. The best way to prevent Medan trash is doing reduce, reuse, recycle, repair, and replace, and make sure you will do it. The second is treasuring the God's water. I got this idea while my lecturer gave me a lecture about rainwater harvesting, and I named it because I got an idea from Korean drama, The Breath of Water God. People love raindrop, but when it comes very heavy, people start to hate it. I believe that rainwater is a blessing from God to the earth. So I want to save this treasure in a hot tank which can hold the amount of rainwater that will be placed in beneath the surface of soil. Many references for guiding how to harvest the rainwater. You can find it in research journals or maybe guideline books, which is freely to search on the internet. Harvesting rainwater could help to reduce from using groundwater, especially can be used in an emergency when having difficulties to get clean water. I think those problems can be represented as top environmental issues and new ways to preserve the environment with creative ways. I hope this idea could be realized in one day. Thank you for the judges and all the audiences to give me precious time. So I had a great opportunity. Have a great day to keep your health and let's be happy even in the bad times. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay, thank you for Bilkis Nabila Putri from Surabaya. Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you, Bilkis. You may leave the Zoom. Stay safe and wait for the result. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, Achmad, Demolingo. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. You don't put off your mask. Oh, right. Okay, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Honorable ones, the jury or judges, the participant of Creative English Speech Contest from all Poltekkes, and especially all audience with the Zoom meeting today. First of all, I would like to invite you to thank to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given His mercy and blessing so we can meet together in the Zoom meeting today. And also, let's deliver salawat and salam to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam who has brought us from the darkness to the brightness. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a new student in Poltekkes Gorontalo. Before I begin to deliver this speech, I want to tell you about me. why I chose the Poltekkes Kemenkes Gorontalo for my next study, especially the environmental health measures. There are three reasons. The first, of course, my parents. My father is a native descendant in Gorontalo, and when get married in the Bitung City, North Sulawesi. My mother is a native and born in the Bitung City, but also Filipino descent. Then my father recommended me to enter here in Poltekkes Kemenkes Gorontalo. The second, I follow my heart because I come from an area where if the people they are still concrete about environment. Therefore, I have a dream to be the first bachelor of environment health in my village to benefit others around me and educate women about the importance of environmental health. And thirdly, since I was elementary school, I was active in activity called PKT or Tangkoko Conservation Education, where this activity we are taught to protect and preserve the environment around us by caring about plastic waste, pollution ecosystem, and also we are taught about endemic animal, because that what pushed me to up it to collect, ladies and gentlemen. According to our theme on this occasion, be a creative human being for environmental preservation. Environment is a place where living things live in this world. In addition, human life cannot be spared for its environment. Therefore, creative step you can take make people aware of the importance of environmental conservation. Creating a clean environment requires creativity. Creativity is a potential possessed to creative or develop new idea dealing with the purpose. In this millennial era, we are required to be a creative human beings. Like what's in creative a clean environment, it is intended what a problem related to environment, such as waste problem, and others can be resolved with the creative ideas. Here are some creative ideas to a clean environment. The first, use social media platform. In this age advanced technology, we can connect with many people through social media. We can use social media as a place keep reminding many people about the importance of preserving environment. Through social media, we can also invite many people to do smart movement that we can preserve an environment, such as clean environment, home environment, the cleaning environment university, and keep rivers and other waters such as clean. Second, participant in environmental conservation activity. Actually, there are lots of environmental conservation activity that we can save clean water on earth. For example, community service with the resident around the house, participating in planting mangrove seedlings, or doing smart revitalization in the year. And the third, reminding the importance of saving water. Sometimes we forgot to use enough the water. There are still many people who leave water tap on. Even though the water is full or leave leaky faucet too long, even there are drops of water, the constantly we also have to pay attention to the things like this to preservative steps. Try use enough water. Turn off the faucet when not is used. Don't hold too much water, and so on. And the last, fourth, using eco-friendly product. The invitation to use eco-friendly product can also help preserve our environment. Just imagine how many people contribute to household waste every day. Therefore, the only way to reduce it to encourage the use of environmental friendly product. Ladies and gentlemen, let's color and educate our new generation about how to love, care, share, and respect each other for a cleaner, safer, and more comfortable environment. I hope what I am delivering today can make us care about environment, because the good environment has the good effect to our health. And the last, I'm just ordinary person who believe that ordinary people can do extraordinary thing when they believe in themselves, has courage to take first step and never give up. I'm standing here today because I follow my heart and dare to my dreams. I'm sorry for any was unplacing you. Good morning. Wabillahi taufik walidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan.
Okay, wow, that's wonderful speech from Ahmad Demolingo. Okay, persiapannya berapa lama nih?
Persiapannya kurang lebih 1 bulan.
Okay.
Cukup panjang.
Thank you. Iya, iya. Semoga sukses ya, tetap sehat-sehat aja ya. Okay, thank you buat Ahmad Demolingo. You may leave the Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Ruth. Would you like to turn on your camera, please? Okay.
Kaira, boleh minta. Kasih keluar dari breakout Zoom.
Dia masih di situ.
Dipersilakan. Am I audible?
Yes, dear.
I will start my speech on 3, 2, 1. Honorable judges, respect participants, and all the audience today. Let me introduce you myself. My name is Ruth, and this time I will bring you all to an unforgettable experience of our future generations. Dear future generations, I think I speak for the rest of us when I say sorry. Sorry, we left you with our mess of a planet. Sorry that we were caught up in our own doings to do something. Sorry, we listened to people who made excuses to do nothing. Sorry, we forget that there is only one planet that we can live on, which is our Earth. I hope you forgive us. We just didn't realize how special the Earth was, like a marriage gone wrong. We didn't know what we had until it was gone. For example, I believe, that the forests of Borneo or Kalimantan are lungs of the world that provide 40% of the oxygen on Earth. But I doubt if you know that a few years ago, Kalimantan could provide more than 56% of the world oxygen. Forests are habitat and ecosystem for many living things. I believe we are people who have more knowledge about the environment know how important ecosystems are. Even flies or caterpillars are very important for the balance of nature. Without caterpillars, Pollinating plants would get frustrated. And yeah, don't forget the fact the caterpillars are one of the food of several predators. But it doesn't mean you can eat it because the but when it comes to caterpillars, I remember that in 2019 there were three villages in Pasuruan Regency that attacked by a lot of caterpillars, and it caused by an imbalance in ecosystem and because their natural habitat, namely trees, had run out. And I am very sorry to say this, but we are the one who caused that. We seem to hate trees and don't let them live. We burn them down. We cut them down with our brutal machines. But why? For this. But let me remind you that the trees are amazing. That we breathe the air they create, that they clean away our pollution or carbon, that they store and purify the water and give us medicine and cure the disease. They give us the food to feed us. The question is, who can protect our environment? The government, the society, or the management? Let me suggest, if a farmer sees an unhealthy tree, they don't see the branch to diagnose it. They see the root. And just like that farmer, we must look to the root and not to the branch. Not to the branch of government and not to the society. And those roots are us. So, how does our treating the earth determine the fate of future generations? So now, I am going to share you the 3 ways of being a creative human beings to preserve our environment. First, love your environments like you love yourself. I remember the Putri of Mother Earth never dies said, what we are doing to the world's forests, deserts, seas, rivers, lakes is like a mirror of what will happen to ourselves and our children. I want to ask, who here doesn't love themselves? I don't think so, because until now we are alive, it proves that we take good care of ourselves. And our environment also wants to be treated the same. They want to be clean, to be fresh, just like we shower. For example, we can clean the trench in front of our house so that when it rains, the water doesn't stagnate and our environment remains clean. 2. Reuse, reduce, recycle. Being a creative human being to preserve the environment is not always being tasked with difficult things. For example, only 3 are reuse, reduce, recycle, things we have learned so much since elementary school. We can start by reducing the use of plastic bags. That can make the soil soaking due to trouble to decompose by bringing our own tote bag. While going shopping, buying and using materials that can be used for many times and recycle items in our house. 3. Be the solution, not be the pollution. All the changes, we must start with ourselves. Realizing we are the root make us feel responsible for our environment. Be the solution to environment problems instead of becoming a worsening pollution. You know that even by throwing our trash in a trash can, we have become the solution. So in the end, all the choices are ours. Do we want to pass on a planet full of pollution, without trees, without life, to the next generations? Or do we want to be the solution and leave the better world for our children and grandchildren? The environment doesn't need the pearls of wisdom, but our environments need the real action. I am Ruth from Poltekkes Medan. Horas, majuah-juah. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. Baru Sirait dari Medan.
Yes, yes. Horas, Miss.
Okay, thank you so much for your performance. That's great. Okay, and stay safe, keep spirit, and you may leave the Zoom and wait for the result. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
You're welcome.
Izin live ya, judges semua.
Okay.
Terima kasih.
Hello, Figure Barata. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Please check your audio to make sure that everything will run well. Okay, time is yours.
Let me say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Excellency, Mr. or Mrs. Judge as judges of Olimnas Banjarmasin, respectable Chief Executive of Olimnas Banjarmasin, honorable all participants, all praises due to Allah, the Lord of the world, the Master of Creator of everything in the universe, the destroyer of all of the oppressor and of the oppressed, for enabling us to meet together in this single God, as who is. Peace and salutation be upon the Prophet of Islam Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his household, his companions, and his faithful followers who strive in Allah Islam religion. I express my gratitude from the bottom of my heart to the MC for giving me valuable chance so that I can speak in front of you. I take this great opportunity to deliver my speech under the title Me and My Environmental Health. People need to be made aware of importance of good environmental health if they want to create a healthy and happy community. If they can take care of the environment properly and responsibly, the emergence of many diseases which are generated due to a dirty environment can be avoided. A strong commitment from within each person in one environment is initial process that must be built. Without mutual agreement and commitment, it is impossible for environmental health to be created considering that if one environment is not kept clean. This will affect the cleanliness of other areas if the community is healthy. Then this will create an independent generation, especially financially, because a healthy soul and body certainly dividend their spirit and sense of focus in their work. They will not be burdened to go to the doctor, so that their concentration at work will increase. According to Haqq, Indonesian Association of Environmental Health Experts, environmental health is an environmental condition that can support a dynamic ecological balance between human and their environment to support the achievement of a healthy and happy quality of human life. In Indonesia, the scope of environmental health is explained in Article 22, Paragraph 3 of Law Number 23 of 1992. the scope of environmental health is eight, one of which is the security of soil waste, which is commonly called garbage. You need to know that the Minister of Environmental and Forestry, Siti Nurbaya Bakar, estimates that the waste heap in Indonesia in 2020 is 67.8 million tons. Siti said this number is likely to continue to grow. This makes Indonesia the second largest waste contributor country in the world. The problem of waste is still homework for every city and district government, especially big city or urban city like South Tangerang City. One of the trigger of high volume of waste for time to time is high level consumption. This is natural because in general, the population of rare cities is denser than the population of village. And fast food consumption pattern result and more waste protein, volume and type. Especially plastic waste because at the moment plastic is simple and easiest place to get. From plastic bags for shopping in malls, plastic bottles made from various processed foods and beverages. Because of this condition, community service problems and are moved to provide counseling about the use of these goods or waste recycling us from community creativity in helping waste management and also hubs that can be implemented and start to grow with the creative economy among the community. By utilizing plastic waste in flower waste, hydroponic media, in addition to providing use value and higher economic value than just garbage. It's also an effective step to reduce waste dumped in river and landfills. This solution not only provides economic benefit but also get healthy and clean environment. One study from utilizing waste is drug recycling to provide economic value and, and use value, as well as to reduce the volume and waste. Recycle as recycling process that is no longer used to become useful and value-added garbage, which is generally classified into organic waste and non-organic waste. So a touch of skill and creativity can be recycled into goods of economic value. For example, organic waste can be recycled to make compost. The non-organic waste such as paper and pulverized or destroyed and made into goods. Public awareness to reduce consumption of plastic product and dispose of plastic waste is still very low. This is from several community groups initiate the processing plastic waste to present into various useful, innovative creation and at the same time reduce the negative impact of plastic waste on the environment. The future involves the creative economic effort of community groups that produce various creative, innovative products made from waste and plastic. It's necessary to get appreciation. This is because the business they are running not just to gain economic benefit, but even more novel, their effort can help reduce negative impact of waste or plastic waste, which continues increases in number. The government attention need to be increased, especially concerning the help of much needed business facilities, namely a display room for products from recycling plastic waste, a system used for modern production equipment, so that the products are increased in terms of volume and quality. And what is most expert are an insectivist of works environmental fighting. As a human being, I realize that can avoid mistakes, so I apologize to you all. And I don't forget to say thanks so much for your attention. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, the deep breath figure. Okay, that's nice. So, figure, you may leave from the Zoom and let the judges see about your performance. Okay, thank you. Stay safe, figure. Good luck for you.
Masih 5 lagi ya. Alhamdulillah.
Semangat ibu-ibu. Kejar sebelum Jumatan.
Ya.
Walaupun tidak sebenarnya, sisa 1 atau 2. Untuk timernya ada sih. Ibu, itu
waktunya mundur ya?
Ke atas. Ya, mundur. Tapi kita di sini ada kok.
Iya, tapi saya pakai sendiri aja, Bu.
Iya.
Jadi.
Hello, Brigita Mapali. Okay, you can turn on your camera and test your audio to make sure that your audio is good. You can. Okay, that's great. Test your sound, your audio, please.
Assalamualaikum.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay.
Swastiastu, nama budaya, salam kebajikan. Good morning, best wishes to us all, the honorable judges, the honorable audience, and all of my lovely friends. First of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk in front of so many good people in here. I'm Brigita Cornelia Mapalie from Manado Health Polytechnic. In this time, I would like to talking and sharing to you about a question. Let's be creative for our environment. So let's answer this. Ladies, and talking about environment preservation, let's begin with environment. The meaning of environment from dictionary is the natural world as a whole or in particular geographic area, especially as affected by human activity. Our environment consists of all living beings as well as their surroundings. A healthy environment is one that is sustainable for a long period of time. It life for everyone. It is relevant and determines the proper growth and development. Preservation and conservation are both processes that protect the environment, but their approaches are somewhat different. The goal of preservation is to protect the environment from the harmful effect of human activity. Everyone as a human who is included in environment, we need to think that how we can manage this big community, we need to be creative because our role is really important for the ladies and our lives as humans being started on this planet Earth and signs that we are greedy with its resources. In return of our greatness, we are exposing it to the external threats of distraction and mistreatment. Due to this, beautiful forests have been destroyed, rivers have been polluted, and vast open lands have been consumed for building factories. People, when will you wake up? This world cannot hold any longer of your mass. Like the physical environment many ways. Overpopulation, pollution, burning fossil fuels, and deforestation. Change like this will trigger climate change, soil erosion, poor air quality, and undrinkable water. These impact negatives can affect human behavior and can prompt mass migrations or battles over clean water. Because of us, our ignorance, our selfishness, who don't want to think about the solution, you just think because only you do not care about the situation. Still going to be alright. People, nature never harm you. Why you do that to them? People that I love. Let's think for a second. Imagine, like you the person who like to throw your garbage beside the crossroad and you think because of you are not going to impact that big. But in the next day, it get more garbage because they think the place that you throw your garbage as the place for them to throw their garbage to, without you thinking you already encourage them to destroy the environment. Is that what you want? and not have the willing to next generation will blame you. All of this. Are you not ashamed of it? Ladies and gentlemen, let's think about the future. Be creative, explore your mind and let out your imagination to how we can reuse, recycle our mess that we make so we can have many time for our earth to live. There is so many simple things you can do to make the earth healthy again. 1. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Put down on what you throw away. Follow the 3 R's to resources and landfills. 2. Volunteer. By volunteering for cleanups in your community, you can get involved in protecting the watershed too. 3. Educate. When you further your own educate, you can help others understand the importance and flow of natural resources. 4. Plant a tree. Trees provide food and oxygen. They help save energy, clean the air, and help combat climate change. 5. Conserve water. The eventually end up in the ocean. 6. Bike more. Drive less to reduce the pollution and make you healthy. With your innovation, with your idea and motivation, we will become advanced. We will become advanced people and build the world for the better place. No more extension, no more people starve to death, only us, pulling our need without any impact to the environment and make better earth to live in. As inhabitants of this must come together to save our environment. After all, it is because of our activities that our ecological balance has been destroyed. We must make sure that instead of overexploiting the environment's resources, we must conserve them. It is important to note that even the little of action impacts the environment directly or indirectly. In the end, I want to say that we must be creative because it's necessary to save and protect our environment. Therefore, let us work together towards a greener and more sustainable future. That's all for my speech. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Brigitta. How can I spell it? Mapalie? Mapalie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a great performance.
Thank
But
you.
yes, but let the judges keep the score for your performance. You may leave the Zoom. Thank you. Stay safe and good luck.
Thank you.
You. Hello, Sabrina Razana. Okay, please test your audio first.
Hello.
Okay,
Am
great.
I audible?
Yes, that's great.
All right.
Okay.
When can I start?
Sure.
Right now. Okay.
Yes.
Wait, my audio.
Your audio is good. You
My audio is good, but I can't
Yes.
hear you.
Ah, how come?
Not properly.
But we can hear you.
Okay, I can try now. Imagine the world without enough water. Imagine one day we meet water crisis. Do you think we can survive that? Now, the honorable adjudicators and all my audience, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sabrina Razana. I am the delegate of Haqq Polytechnic Palembang, and I'm very glad and thankful today because I get to talk about something that is very crucial for human and the environment. The human population has increased from time to time. We are over 7 billion people now. An increase in people means a greater demand for food, water, and human needs. Now you may think that we're doing just alright today, but I'm sure you have felt the global warming, such as forest fires, flood, and droughts. And this could impact the water. Now the question is, how could that happen? Ladies and gentlemen, well, because the groundwater can decrease quickly from the fast evaporation and it can affect the availability of clean water on Earth. Now, have you heard about the prediction saying that Jakarta will sink in 2030? The prediction of Jakarta sinking is caused by the overexploitation of groundwater and as a result of climate change. Therefore, it needs serious attention. Of course, overexploitation of groundwater is not the only triggers for climate change. Mining activities, agriculture, and many other human activities play roles in climate change if not being managed properly. Mining activities, for instance, require a lot of energy and, of course, natural resources. The abundance of existing resources in Indonesia is an advantage for us because the result can be utilized. But however, this use has done excessively, hasn't it? Mining activities can directly cause water pollution. Coal washing wastewater with sulfur can contaminate the river water so that the color of the water becomes cloudy, acidic, and causes silting of the river due to the coal washing deposits. Now, if the water is consumed, it will be very dangerous for human health because the water has contained harmful substances. Now, ladies and gentlemen, why water preservation is very important, you may ask. Let me give you another reason. According to the Director General of Human Settlements, Ministry of Public Works and Public Housing, currently the national supply of clean water in various districts is around 70 to 90% on average. Indonesia's Ministry of Public Works and Housing has predicted that Java water levels will drop by the year 2040. This is categorized as total scarcity. Almost 10% of Indonesia is expected to experience water crisis by the year 2045, while Java is already considered to be under pressure. Even now, the water crisis has occurred in some areas in Indonesia, like in Nusa Tenggara Timur, Sumba, Maluku, and so on. Ladies and gentlemen, there are so many things and action that we can do to preserve the water. This is where our creativity plays roles. And for starters, we have to be aware that throwing rubbish into the water is bad for the environment. In this digital era and easy access of internet, we can use social media to influence people and spread awareness of how important it is to save the water. We can make posters, we can make flyers, and we can provide the discussion media with experts for public and all generation to access. Now, from our household waste, we can get creative by applying the principle of reduce, reuse, and recycle. For instance, we can turn the cooking oil into candles, and we can start using rice water to help our plants to grow instead throwing it away to the sewer. Other than that, we can also approach the stakeholders with our creative ideas on ways to preserve the water. They can be a companion to share knowledge with the community to maintain natural resource management as step to approach the Environmental Preservation Act. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be wise in using water and other environmental resources. We have to be aware of the environmental issues. We have to always remember that the slightest contribution to the environmental preservation is very important. And on that note, who else is it going to be if it's not us? And if we don't act now, when? I think that's all about my speech. Thank you for your time and for your attention. Have a good day ahead.
Okay, thank you, Sabrina Razana. That's a wonderful speech. Okay, after this, you may leave the Zoom and wait for the result. Stay safe and good luck for
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Anggreni. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, Miss.
Okay, yeah, that's out. Your audio is good. Okay, time is yours.
3, 2. The honorable judges and everyone here today, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I'd like to thank the Almighty God. It is because of Him we are able to attend this contest. Secondly, may salawat and salam always to be delivered to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided us from the darkness into this bright modern era that we live in today. And last but not least, I would also like to say many thanks to the juries and master of ceremony for giving me this very special opportunity to compete in this contest. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Firda, and I'm from Haqq Poltekkes of Semarang, standing here to share you how to turn solid waste just from our home. Imagine. Do you ever imagine you are living in the country where there are 271.34 million people and they are cared with waste management? Yes, exactly. That country called Indonesia. Not only the problem of waste, even the economy can be solved. Is it right? It has been more than a year that we have been in the condition of the COVID-19 pandemic. Don't you miss the old days before this pandemic? Honestly, I really miss those days. Since the pandemic started, many people are worried about their economic situation. Actually, we can prevent that problem. You know, with the concept of solid waste is a blessing. And we can do it just from our home. Unpleasant smells and waste are building up. Maybe that's the word that comes to mind when it comes to solid waste. Solid waste is part of something that's not used, disliked, or something that must be disposed of, which basically comes from activities carried out by humans. There are various sources of solid waste, including household, market, office, public building, industry, and roads. So, what does solid waste mean is a blessing? Turning solid waste
especially in turning organic waste into compost that is used to provide nutrients to plants such as kinds of vegetables and other plants. Furthermore, that help the plants grow fertile and the result can be harvested quickly. This harvest can later be sold and will increase the community's income. According to increase people income, but also reduce the volume of waste. Different from other waste processing because the raw material, the place, all of the method can be done by everyone and everywhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you already know how to make compost? First, prepare the materials needed. There are organic waste, water, soil, and activator. Activator is a substance that will activate the work of the composing organism so that it will accelerate the decomposition of organic matter. One of them is EM4. Then prepare the necessary tools such as a knife, barrel, and a mixer. Now I will tell you how to make compost with organic waste. First, chop organic waste into small pieces. Secondly, add soil as inoculant. Thirdly, dissolve activator with water. After that, pour the activator solution into the compost material and mix it well. If the mixture is too dry, add more activator solution. Then put it in a composting container and close it tightly. Stay once a week for good aeration in the container. Good aeration looks like good compost looks like dark brown in the color, has an earthy smell, and fine grain. Is that easy, right? As I said before, composting is different from other waste processing because the raw material, the place, although the method can be done by everyone and everywhere. Not only that, non-organic waste also has an economic value that is no less than organic waste. We can short and deposit it into a junk bag, isn't it? So it's a shame if you don't want to process solid waste, right? Right. Solid waste should be a blessing, but it can be disaster if we ignore it. By processing solid waste into something of value, we can get various benefits that will be felt not only for ourselves, but also for the surrounding of our community and the environment. Before closing my speech, I'd like to quote one of my favorite lines from Walt Disney. The way to get started is to quit talking and start doing. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for my speech. Thank you so much for your attention. Stay safe and stay in positive mind. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. That's great, Firda. Thank you so much for your performance. And after this, you may leave. Stay safe and yeah, good luck for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
You're welcome. Hello, Melissa Rahayu. Okay, please test your audio first. You can unmute. I see that the microphone is mute.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, time is yours.
Suara saya kedengaran, Bu?
Sure.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear Mr. or Mrs. the jury, dear Mr. or Mrs. Commit, and friend who took part in the Olympics today. First of all, let us express our gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given the opportunity and held together in this place. Unforgettable, salawat and salam go to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Let me introduce myself. My name is Melisa Rahayu. I'm from Diploma Environmental Health Study Program, Muhammadiyah University of Kalimantan. In this occasion, I will deliver my speech with the title, The Creative Human Being of Environmental Preservation. Ladies and gentlemen, environmental problems are problems that are often discussed in Indonesia. This problem arises because the Earth's real life is starting to look like a big garbage dump. This problem is caused by improper of waste, disposal, and lack of concern for cleanliness and environmental sustainability. Environmental pollution due to waste is increasingly worrying if no efforts are made to overcome it. People who do not know and behave badly in waste management can cause natural disaster, health problems, and will have impact on assumed environment. For that, we need to keep the environment clean and preserved. Preserving the environment requires creativity. Creativity is the potential you have to create and develop new ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, in the millennial era, we are required to be creative or active in making innovation, so that in making innovation you can. Ladies and gentlemen, in millennial era, we are required to be creative or innovative human beings in making innovation, so that pile up garbage can be recalled into something that has economic value and has aesthetic value. Is intent that the problem with creative or innovative ideas. Creative or innovative ideas that I mean to preserve the environment are by 1. Recycling inorganic waste and become to a valuable item. 2. Hold community service every week. 3. Cultivate soil well. 4. Recycle waste and dispose of waste to according to its type. 5. Perform selective logging and reforestation. This reforestation can be done by this around planting the environment. 6. Using good that environment friendly. And 7. Advising the government to provide trash bin in not become a landfill. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, I just want to say, let's together keep the environment clean and preserved. Finally, I just want to say, let's together keep the environment clean and preserved. Finally, I just want to say, let's together. Misi, Bu.
Yes.
Ini suara saya kedengaran, Bu, soalnya di saya sendat-sendat.
Of course. Tidak ada masalah, lanjutkan saja.
Oh iya, Bu. Mohon maaf, Bu, tadi sendat-sendat di laptop saya, Bu.
Oh, okay.
Gerakan Ibu. Jadi saya bingung.
Oh iya, oke. Okay,
saya lanjutkan ya, Bu, dari finally.
Ya, silahkan.
Mohon maaf, Bu. Halo, Bu.
Ya, lanjutkan, nggak apa-apa.
Finally, I just want to say, let's together keep the environment clean and preserve the environment so that the earth will live in does not become a landfill. I think this is my speech to be a creative human being of environmental preservation. Thank you for your attention. I apologize if there are mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Luar biasa Melisa ya. Terus berjuang hingga di titik akhir, nggak apa-apa. Oke, thank you Melisa Rahayu. After this you may leave the Zoom. Kita menunggu nanti sambil panitia juri menilai dan nanti tunggu aja hasilnya ya.
Ya Bu, terima kasih Bu.
Stay safe and good luck Melisa. Hello Triana.
Hello Miss.
Okay.
Am I able, Miss?
Yes, sure.
Am I able? Okay.
Okay. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Adjudicators. Lousy, a philosopher said, a journey of 1,000,000 miles began with a single step. And this is my step to start new experience and out from the comfort zone in English speaking by joining this contest. Well, in this occasion, I like to share my opinion and concern about environment. Ladies and gentlemen, lately we heard news on TV and other media. There are a lot of natural disasters occur, not only in Indonesia, but even around the world. Start from floods, forest and land fires, and so many others. From data from the National Disaster Management Agency, it has recorded that 1,677 natural disasters occurred in Indonesia in period January 1st to August 5th, 2021. From this data, 676 even, or 40.3%, were flood disasters. Are we aware that this happens because of lack of concern for environmental sustainability? Small example, such as littering that cause environmental problem, such as clogged drainage that can cause the area to flood. This is a very serious concern, especially for us, the young generation, who are the successor in preserving the environment. One solution is to process and manage waste creatively. For example, by implementing a zero-waste lifestyle. But until now, there are still many of us who have no implement or even understand what zero waste is. Therefore, in this occasion, I invite all attendants to get to know the zero waste lifestyle by developing a creativity for a quality environment. Ladies and gentlemen, zero waste is a philosophy that used as a lifestyle to encourage the life cycle of research so that product can be reused. Zero waste is a matter of staying away from from single-use plastic or plastic that is only used once. The goal is to prevent waste from being sent to landfills. So zero waste is not only about recycle or recycling. This is a common misconception. In fact, zero waste is start with refuse, reduce, and reuse. When it's really impossible for these three things, just do recycle and rot. There are 5 methods in zero waste concept. The first is refuse. What is meant of refuse here is to refuse using a plastic bag when shopping and bring our own paper bag, tote bag, or a shopping bag. And the second is reduce. We can reduce product consumption by questioning whether the product we buy are important and can be used many times or not. The third is reuse. reuse the things we have back, such as use the drink bottles, eating places, aluminum straws, and others. And the third is recycle. Recycle goods if we cannot do refuse, reduce, and reuse. For the concept of recycle itself, Indonesia has many who apply usually, such as recycling the plastic waste into craft and so on. The last is Ruth, turning leftovers into compost. Don't let our kitchen waste just go to the final disposal site. Separate food waste, and turn it into fertilizer for plants or our backyard. So, in addition, for environmental sustainability, there are many benefits in implementing the zero waste lifestyle, including increased creativity, safe expense, encouraging a healthy lifestyle, and so many others. Ladies and gentlemen, this country has many disasters. And sadly, most of the disasters that occur are actually caused by human mistake. Garbage is one of them. The things we take for granted too much but have a big impact on our earth. If there is no movement at all, especially by us, the young generation, against this massive production waste, of course, this disasters such as floods will not disappear from this country. Implementing a zero waste lifestyle is one of the keys. A small step that is very easy for everyone to do, such as shopping with a paper bag, carrying the bottle tumbler, use a bamboo or metal straws, can also recycle unorganic waste into valuable things like tote bag or even interior for home industry and hotels. And the next is for the organic waste can be made into compost. Well, however, if we take this small step together, it will definitely have a big impact on reducing disaster in this country in the future. As the commercial tagline says, we don't have to be extraordinary to start, but we need to start to be extraordinary. So let's start to be eco-friendly and care more about our environment, because I, you, and we can be the face of change for our beloved country, Indonesia. That's all my performance. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well done, Triana Nurhayati from Poltekkes Pontianak. So thank you so much for your performance. You may leave this Zoom and wait for the result. Thank you. Stay safe and good luck for you, Triana.
Thank you, Miss.
You're welcome.
Demikianlah Bapak Ibu, juri dan saudara-saudari, acara English Speech Contest yang kita selenggarakan kali ini telah berakhir. Kami mengucapkan terima kasih kepada seluruh juri peserta dan panitia yang telah bersedia membantu dan berpartisipasi pelaksanaan kegiatan ini, sehingga berlangsung dengan lancar. Kami juga memohon kesediaan Bapak Ibu untuk memaafkan sekiranya ada kekurangan selama persiapan maupun pelaksanaan kegiatan ini. Semoga kegiatan ini bermanfaat bagi kita semua, dan semoga kita bisa bertemu lagi di suatu saat nanti dalam keadaan sehat walafiat. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.